Hello, all you scaredy cats and kittens, and welcome to the Two Scaredy Cats podcast, where we talk about all things strange, unusual, and paranormal. We're your hostess with the mostess. I'm Stacy.
And I'm Kara.
So, Kara, how was your trip to Japan? Because you were gone for a week in Japan, and that's why you weren't with us last time.
It was fun. It was a lot.
Yeah.
A lot of culture.
What did you guys do, or what was some of the fun, highlights of your trip?
Well, I got to go to a capybara cafe and pet a capybara.
That's cool.
Which is cool. And it was a cat capybara cafe.
You know, I was telling somebody about that, and people didn't know what capybaras are, and I had to, try and explain to them and show them what they were, so I just, it's like a giant guinea pig it's like a
basically, he's a giant...
Basically.
They're so big, they don't have any predators.
Really? That's crazy.
Yeah, so they just are super chill, because they know nothing can mess with them.
Were you allowed
They're
to
too
pet
big
them?
to eat. Yeah, I got to pet and sit with them.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, it was pretty cool. And I got a feeder. I got to pay.
What do they
I paid extra
eat?
to feed them.
I saw your little grass stuff.
Grass. It was
Okay.
like leaves almost.
Okay. Huh.
And then there was some special stuff that we got to give them too. I don't know. It was interesting because if you wore a really strong perfume, the capybara would start attacking the cats.
Oh my, that's crazy.
Which was interesting.
Did anybody in your group have very strong perfume on?
No, but Elizabeth did see the capybara start or one of the cats started attacking the capybara and they started fighting.
Oh, really? That's interesting.
But it wasn't during our session because we had to split up because they only have so many people allowed in a group.
So how do they keep them from fighting with one another? Or is it only happen
I think normally they
sometimes?
just chill.
Okay.
It just happens sometimes, and that's why they give you a warning, don't wear strong perfumes and stuff, because it could agitate them. It was interesting, though.
So have they ever killed any of them, or do they eat them, or what happens when they get all riled up?
They just start fighting, the cats start batting.
Oh, okay.
And the capybara doesn't really care that much, but he'll put them in their place, be
right.
What are you doing?
Shut that down. Yeah, I get it.
And they have big, big teeth, because they're giant guinea pigs, basically.
Huh.
But they're so chill, which is why they're cool.
That is weird.
I know they have some in America, but it was cool. They don't have cafes where you can do meet and greets.
Huh. Yeah, I told you about that place near us that little zoo that opened up that's down in Okeana that has kangaroos and some other animals that you don't normally see that you can pet, and you're oh, they had a sloth they have a pet sloth that you can hold and stuff too.
Well, I want to go to that.
I know, but have you watched Chimp Crazy yet on HBO?
Yes, I did watch that.
Was that insane? She is nuts, that lady.
She was holding.
Yes.
She was secretly had the.
Yes.
Thing in her. That was wild.
Right? I know. I'm at any time.
Or the lady who breastfed the.
Yes. Weird. She's nuts.
What?
Well, did you hear about that lady? She's in trouble. PETA's going after her now because apparently her chimps have been dying way too soon. And there's speculation that after they hit a certain age, because they won't work. Remember, she made a quote about how when they work, well, they say that when they stop working for her or they are producing money for her, that they kill them. But they haven't been able to prove it yet. Yeah. I mean, these people are nuts. Who has a monkey that can eat your face in their, in your house? And a lot of people are upset with the lady that was breastfeeding the monkeys because I don't know if you've noticed, but all her monkeys that she trains, or chimpanzees, she keeps them on a leash. So people are mad about that too. I don't know.
Oh my.
It's crazy. Yeah.
That was a whole...
It was.
Yeah, that thing was crazy.
Right?
Especially because it was the same person who did the Tiger King documentary.
Yeah. I was whoa.
And then they had the guy who was undercover. That was wild.
Yeah, that guy who was I guess he's been in the circus forever and stuff, and yeah. That was so weird. But I guess because he has so many connections, like, you know what I mean? People trust him, I
For
guess.
sure.
So, anyway, sorry,
Yeah.
but I just thought that was so crazy.
I mean, I don't blame him because he does work, like, professionally with animals.
Yeah. All right, sorry,
I
I
was
segued.
very crazy.
So how
semi-related because of weird animals.
Yes, exactly. So what happened at the vending machine?
We gotta talk
thing?
about the weird vending machines.
Yeah. So what happened with those?
It was just very odd because there were like a lot of. Well, one of them tried to scam me first of all, so that was upsetting.
Huh.
Like I would put the coins in and I would like select the item, but it would never give it to me, which was weird.
Huh, that is weird.
And then I did eventually work, but I had to try a few different machines, and I had like a friend help give me some change.
Huh.
Because like you had to pay in the exact currency, so like I couldn't pay with coins and dollars, which was annoying. Because like I had like enough dollar wise, but I had like the exact change and it wouldn't let me, which was annoying. So I had to buy something cheaper because I wanted one of the cooler, but probably saved me money because what I did get out of the mystery box in the vending machine was just animal crackers.
Yeah, it was very lame. So you were saying you went to some haunted vending machines. So what happened with that, or what was going on?
Yeah, so Japan loves vending machines. Like, love. Like, they're literally every, like, minute of walking, you would see, like, 4 or 5, like, on the way. It was crazy.
Oh, that is crazy.
But they have, like, we looked it up, and they have, like, some really bizarre vending machines.
Uh-huh.
So we made, like, a side trip out to, it was in Akihabara. But you can find it on Google Maps, so if you're making a trip to Japan, you can check it out. The place was really, like, creepy. And it's basically in, like, a dilapidated, like, building.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just cram-packed with probably, like, maybe 100 vending machines.
Oh,
and they all had very weird stuff. Like, baseballs. Huh. One had an old rotary phone, which was weird.
That's funny.
Like, and I wanted to get it so bad, but Liz was like, we don't have space to bring that thing back home. It's probably haunted. And I said, I know, but I want it. It's clearly someone, like, comes out every day and, like, fills the machines up with new stuff, because mine was dated for the date I bought it, which was interesting. And they were all had, like, the dates. So someone is clearly, like, filling them up every day.
Huh, that's weird.
And there were a few other people when we were there. They also have cigarette vending machines.
Oh, that's crazy. That doesn't happen here anymore.
Also,
Back
they
in
don't
the day,
charge you for alcohol.
Really? At all?
Or like they don't not charge you. I meant like they don't card you for alcohol.
So wait, you're allowed to drink alcohol at a young age in Japan?
No, you aren't supposed to. There's a drinking age, but they just don't check. Like, they never once carded us, because we tried. We'd be like, oh, like trying to show our ID, and they'd be like, no, just click the button that says you're over the age.
That is so weird. Huh.
I'm guessing like the culture there, it's not necessary. Where like in our culture it is, because we have such a problem with underage drinking.
Right. I guess you would get in all kinds of trouble over there by your parents if you did. You know what I mean? I'm sure it's frowned upon and stuff in that culture. That's crazy.
It felt very safe to just walk around compared to, like, walking around at night anywhere else, I feel.
Yeah.
But I would not go to that. I would feel like it would be really creepy to go to that vending machine place at night.
I bet.
They had, like, some of them had, like, weird bugs in them, like, toy bugs.
Weird.
There was one that was just filled with bells. Like, little jingle bells.
Real? Okay, that is so bizarre. Huh.
And they would have weird food too. Like, they would have canned bread.
What? Ew.
Like in a can.
Ew.
Yeah. I really wanted to get a weird one, but I only had so much money to spend on the weird vending machines.
That's crazy.
Because they all took, so basically you had to have exact change. So that was annoying. And a lot of them would just steal your freaking money, and they wouldn't give it back. And I was like, "Are you kidding me?"
Oh, that stinks.
I just put like my 500 yen coin in, which is like $5-ish. But it was definitely an experience, and it was just very creepy. And like the rows were so like thin, so you're like crammed in with like all these vending machines with bizarre objects, and then it felt like there was someone just like watching you from above. It felt weird.
That's weird and creepy.
Like, even one of the people with us said they were, like, very uncomfortable while being in that area.
Huh.
So, like, just, like, they had weird ghost vibes because they, like, grew up in, like, a haunted house, so. Just saying.
So what else did you guys do while you were there? Anything else cool and exciting?
Then we went to the castle. And then we went to Akihabara, like, the actual, like, shopping district area.
Oh, cool. And how was the castle?
But the castle was interesting.
Was it?
I mean, we didn't actually see the castle because we didn't realize we had to have reservations. But we got to walk around the grounds.
Yeah.
The grounds were pretty. Like, it was like a Japanese garden, essentially.
Cool.
For obvious reasons, since it was in Japan. All their gardens are Japanese gardens, I guess.
Did they have a bunch of koi ponds there that you got to, like, some...
Yes, they had koi fish.
Okay.
They had koi fish.
There was something I saw on TikTok or somewhere where, like, some of their, like, you know how, like, we have ditches on the side of the road? Well, theirs were filled with water, and they had, like, koi fish swimming in them. Did you see anything like that when you were there?
Oh, that's weird. I did not see anything like that. But I did see, like I said, they had a specific koi fish pond.
Cool. Did you feed the fishes?
Yeah.
Cool.
No, there were signs that said don't do that.
Oh, okay.
I didn't want to get arrested for feeding
Yeah,
fish
yeah,
in
probably not a
Japan.
good idea, yeah. Probably not a good idea. Well, that's cool. I'm glad you had fun.
I will say one of the weird things is just how quiet the subways are.
Really?
Like all public transport, everyone's just silent.
Huh. That's so weird. Crazy because when you go, like, we've ridden on the subway in, like, DC, and we've done it in, there was another one, but they were very noisy and loud, and there was, like, you know what I mean, lots of things going on and stuff, and that's crazy that you have to be silent. Like you said,
People
you got...
always chatter. Well, there's, like, no chatter.
Yeah.
But, I mean...
Didn't you say you guys got, like, not in trouble, but people gave you the stink eye because when you were talking on the train?
Yeah, if you talk too loud.
Okay. Interesting.
Well, like, we would whisper, and they wouldn't really care then, but, like, you just can't be loud.
Huh.
You can't be a normal American, or they'll just, like, stare at you. Like, you're...
Got ya.
And you have to, like, put your backpack to the front. There's, like, signs everywhere, like, be respectful, put your... Like, so if instead of wearing it on your back, because, like, people just aren't aware, sometimes they make you put it on the... Well, they don't make you, but it's...
Highly encouraged that you, have it in front of you.
Highly encouraged. They even had, like, signs, and when we were in customs, there was a video playing about how to be a good foreigner.
No.
And part of it was
backpack. Oh my god, that is so funny.
And they had, like, these... It was really bizarre. They had, like, ninjas, and they would, like, be in, like, these areas. Like, you're not supposed to take photos in shrines.
Well, that makes sense. That's, like, a big thing for them.
Yeah.
Yeah, I get that one.
That one makes, but it was just funny. And you're not supposed to take phone calls on the train either. You're supposed to step out of the train.
Oh God, Grandma would be hosed. She'd be thrown in jail because she talks everywhere. She talks in restaurants. You call her and she'll be eating and I'm like, you want me to let you go? Oh no, it's okay. Our food's not here yet. I'm like, yeah, but everybody around you doesn't want to hear your phone conversation, Grandma.
Doesn't want to hear your conversation.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, I don't think she'd survive.
No, I don't think so either.
But that was, oh my god, customs was so hot. It was like they don't have like general AC, so I think if I'd go back, I'd want to go like in a colder month.
Ooh,
it was just
I
rough.
Couldn't handle that. Ooh, that sounds
too
hot.
Spoiled.
Oh.
Yeah, I would recommend going in a like more. We were lucky because we were there just as the temperature was starting to get down.
Okay.
But it was not. It was still like pretty warm. Like it wasn't. It was like 70s and 80s, but before we went, it was like 90s. So we did luck out in that.
So
aspect.
now, was it there?
Because I think I would have actually died.
Was it their summer that you were there? Like, was it going into theirs, like spring going into summer for them, or are they on the same seasons as we are? I forget.
They're the same seasons as us. They were going into fall.
Okay, because I wasn't sure. Because there are some countries that it's like in England, that are backwards from us. Okay.
Yeah. No, for whatever reason they are not. It's on the same.
Okay, cool. Well, it sounds like you guys had a blast. I'm so jealous. Now I want to go.
Yeah.
But I want to go to
nice,
I want to go to the countryside though and see all the cool stuff.
I would, but it's just hard to get transportation. It was nice like that there was always like a train like in a few minutes.
Right.
Like we never had to stand and wait for a train.
Got you.
I mean, sometimes we did because they would be so crammed and we didn't want to be those guys, the freaking foreigners who shove ourselves in a freaking train.
I'm with you.
Like, I mean, like, it was packed like sardines.
Yeah.
So we were like, we'll just wait for the next train. because it's not. But well, so like their busy hour is like their like ours is, you know, where everyone's on the cars driving
like,
home from work.
Yeah.
So it's not. It was rough. Like between 6 to 8 p.m. is like kind of
Really. So theirs is later
crazy.
than us.
Like people be running. They will be sprinting around.
Wow.
This. It's just crazy. We experienced it one day, and I was like, God, I do not want to be out again, like around this time, or like trying to get home at that time.
Right? Yeah, that's crazy.
And then you have a 50-minute train ride, so normally you're packed in there, you're standing up, just
Ooh,
like
yeah, that does not sound fun. Yeah. Huh.
I mean, it was, like I said, it was cool. I'd like to explore, maybe Tokyo a little bit more, but I'd definitely like to get out to some of the other cities. I'm curious if I go back.
Cool.
Yep. All right.
So you ready?
Well, did you hear about the rug thing that was going on? The rug girl.
I
conspiracy theory.
I heard just a smidge of it, enough to know that because
like I know you saw the news article.
Well, it was on our local news.
But I was watching it as it was. Like I saw the original TikTok.
Okay.
And then I was sending it to Mario because I was like, "Oh, this is crazy," and it's actually in Columbus, Ohio, where I am.
know, so it didn't, yeah.
So this was local news, too, so it was making our news. But I was watching it on TikTok because I was invested. Because the first, what is it? Let me find the dang window.
So when did this all happen? Was this just like last week that all this broke, or was it earlier?
It was like it was while I was still here. Like, it didn't happen, if that makes sense.
Because
like, maybe a few days ago.
Yeah, I was going to say, because it just came...
October 4th.
Okay, so it was recent. Okay, yeah.
But it began because she thought her house was haunted.
See, now I didn't hear about that part. So why did
That's what I'm saying. Obviously, the news articles aren't going to include the good, juicy details,
right.
You know.
So why did she think it was haunted, or what was going on that made her suspect that?
So it was before she found the rug. Mm-hmm. But she's had some weird things start going on in her house. Mm-hmm. This is all alleged because we all know that.
Right. It hasn't been confirmed.
Considering how the story unfolds, because it gets kind of wild, and I doubt you've heard some of the other things, like the more recent developments.
I haven't.
So this content creator, she wakes up and she finds that her office is like in a disarray, basically. Okay. She remembers shutting the door before she like went in there. Mm-hmm. Like the night before, and when she went in, she noticed the door was open. Or actually, the door was still closed, and she went in, and her desk is like completely messed up. And her laptop was closed, and the screen, when she opens the screen, it was completely shattered. Ew. Her home alarm never went off, so that, like, there was no alleged break-ins. Mm-hmm. But it was definitely bizarre, and she thought that like maybe her house was haunted or something. And then a few days later, they were doing the yard work, and they discovered the rug while they were digging up the poles for like the
post for the fence, right?
She was trying to build a fence. Okay. Yes. So then they found what looked like the rug, mm-hmm. and they thought that was suspicious because who buries a rug? And the way it was like down in the hole was very odd. Mm. So she decided to call the police after like people in the comment section were like, "You should call the police."
Told her to do it. Yeah.
Which thankfully she did. And they were kind of like, They thought it was weird, but they didn't really, like, follow it up. Like, I think the internet kind of put a little...
pressure on them to do it?
Pressure on them, you know how, like, because her video went viral.
Okay.
Like, she's getting, like, millions of views on this. So, the Columbus is like, okay, fine, we'll send out a cadaver dog at least to sniff it and see if it's worth it. And they had 2 separate dogs that hit on that spot. Huh. So, but it could be just something from, like, there was blood on the rug.
But still, that's suspicious.
There was you never know. Right. So then they... So maybe, like, someone had a bloody nose and buried it. But it was the fact that they buried it. I was going to say,
I would not bury a rug after I had a bloody... I'd throw it away, maybe, if it was that bad. But, jeez Louise.
But they did bring out, like... So they brought out, like, a digger. And then they, like... As soon as the dogs hit, they, like, closed it off. But this girl was live streaming this, allegedly. Oh my God, that is nuts. Everything's alleged. But she was them, so they showed up October 4th. This is like fresh off the presses.
Yeah, really.
Around 1, and they started to dig. for a bit, and they dug quite a bit until they eventually stopped. I guess they, like, hauled out the rug, and then they took the rug, and then they said, we didn't find anything.
What? Okay,
allegedly.
That sounds weird and strange.
But it could be because, like I said, she was posting constantly, like, updates on her TikTok of, like, what's going on, like, videos of what was happening, the dogs. So it's possible they did find something, but they don't want to have that spread, because if there is a case and it's related to a case, you know.
Yep.
So that's when it gets really crazy, because she's making merch, Mom.
What?
Of this.
Stop
she's trying
it.
to monetize. Yes.
Nuh-uh.
That's why I was like, okay, now it's getting weird.
That's
She's
strange.
like, she went, like I said, she went from 6,000 followers to, I think, like, at least when I was looking, like, millions of followers.
That's strange that she's trying
like,
to make merchandise.
8 million.
It sounds like she planted that in her backyard, honestly.
I know. I'm like, it's a little suspicious now that
Right.
she's monetizing it. Oh, and she gets robbed too.
What?
This is a wild story. So she woke up. So after the thing, and she was like making a bunch of money off these videos because she's in like the program, like, you know, and then she was doing live. So you rack up money because people donate crap, and like I said, it's like the viral thing, so everyone's interested.
Right.
Someone hacked into her TikTok account, stole it, or didn't steal the account, but they took all of the money she got off of those videos.
What? Oh, well, good for them then. You know what I mean? Because that's kind of gross.
I'm like, I don't know the truth. It is kind of weird that she was making merch.
Making
was,
money
like,
off of some. It could have been a dead person for all we know, and she's making money off of them. I mean, that's kind of messed up. Crazy. People are crazy.
That's what I'm saying. I don't know. It could be anything, but it is pretty wild, the whole story, and the fact that it happened locally where I am in Columbus
that is strange. Yeah,
I figured we had to at least
talk about it. Yeah.
Like I said, it was alleged haunting.
Huh.
And like I said, I know you heard of word of it, but you hadn't heard like the full depth of
I
the
did not
TikTok
realize
craziness.
she was at Looney Tunes. Yeah,
she's running with her TikTok, her internet fame.
Yeah, really. Jeez.
Which, like, I don't blame someone.
Right,
Get your
but
bag,
still,
I guess.
But not that though. I don't know that that's appropriate to be doing. You know what I mean? If it's something that's
she has 2.2 million followers now. Before she was a mom blogger, so she like would, you know, whatever mom bloggers do. But you know what I mean.
Oh, speaking of mom blog, did you ever watch the thing about the moms, the TikTok moms on I think
Mama Tot or wait, oh, you're talking about the I know the thing you said.
Yeah, the housewives. The Mormon housewives, and they're like all on mom talking.
I've tried watching it, but it was hard to get in. Maybe I need to keep watching it because I saw more people talking about it.
You need to talk. You need to watch it.
It's just hard. It's just like so hard to watch because they're so annoying.
They are annoying, but you got to get.
They're very fake.
They are, but you got to get through all that because it gets better and juicier. Because like,
does it get better?
Oh yeah, okay. It's really juicy.
I've heard people say there's insane stuff.
There is,
but I'm like,
you gotta get through like the first part of it where it's all feel good and everybody likes each other, to the nitty gritty when people start stabbing each other in the back.
Yeah. Okay.
Yep.
Because I was like, this is hard to watch.
Yeah, it is. Trust me, it was hard for me too. But I promise it gets better. You just got to suffer through it.
Okay.
Just maybe drink while you're watching, and it might help it be a little better. I don't know.
Maybe that'll
help.
So I got a bottle of
there
wine
you go.
fridge.
Yeah. But I mean, oh my God, Kara, it is crazy. But anyway.
But yeah, now we're going to talk about the actual topic of the day.
Okay. So what are we talking about?
This is where I think it's a good one for Halloween because it's very bizarre, and kind of just creepy, and it's related to clowns.
Oh, okay, of course.
So it's gonna be real good. So we're gonna be talking about. This is a pretty popular case, so it's possible you've heard about it. But it's the Sundown Clown, Sam the Clown. Have you heard of this?
Yeah, I think so. I think
he's, like I said, he's a very popular, like, very bizarre story. It's like a very popular UFO. Like, it's alien related. Alien clowns we're talking about today. So, our story takes place on the outskirts of Sundown, which is a seaside town on the Isle of Wight in the UK. This is in 1973, so it's not, like, super old, but it's, like, an older story. So, Faye, a 7-year-old, that's not her real name, but that was used in the original article, because I found the original article that, like, went over her, what allegedly happened. She was on the outskirts of the sundown town with a boy her age around 4 p.m. They both heard a very weird wailing sound that they compared to an ambulance. You know, like that
yep
sound.
Mm-hmm.
So, like normal children, they went towards the sound into a swampy meadow near the sundown airport. They were walking over a bridge when a gloved hand popped out with a weird figure came out from under the bridge. So that's how you know we're getting interesting.
Right, yeah, weird.
So the figure dropped a book in the water, but then picked it up and then retreated into a weird metallic hut that had no windows. Very bizarre. So the kids were like, okay, that's weird, but they wandered off, but the figure came back this time with a microphone. And the wailing noise from before started again, but it was much louder since they were very, much closer, and it frightened the boy, and he started to run away. The noise stopped immediately, and the creature began to speak to them, like, hello, are you still here? Through the microphone. The children were a little curious, so they approached this creature, whatever it is, and his face was all white, and his eyes were triangular, and they kind of looked like a jack-o'-lantern, if you know what I mean. The figure was 7 foot tall, and he had no neck. Like, it looked like the head was just kind of placed on his body. And then he had yellow pointy hat and a red collar and a green tunic. And then on the hat had 2 antennas pointing out from both sides. And his nose was actually a brown rectangle, and he had weird yellow lips, but they did not move when he spoke, which was odd.
Yeah, sounds strange.
Yeah, you think so?
Very weird.
He wrote a message to them in a notebook. And it said, hello, I am all colors Sam. However, the words weren't written in like a normal sequence, like, you know how like our sentence structure would be like in a line. They like the words were all just kind of like all over this page, and he would point directly at the whatever words he was trying to say in the sentence. The kids got a bit closer and realized that he could talk without the microphone, but it was hard to understand. It sounded like he was mumbling almost, because like I said, his lips don't move.
Weird.
Just weird. So Sam started asking about the kids, and the kids would ask him questions back. They actually asked him about his clothes, because they were kind of all ripped up, and Sam told him that was his only set of clothes. And then they asked him if he was a ghost, which he replied, no. Well, not really, but I am in an odd sort of way. They asked him more what that meant, and he said, you know, with no further explanation. Sam did tell him that there were others like him, and he drew a sketch of one of them. He told the kids that he was frightened of people and scared they might hurt him, so he invited them into his hut.
Okay.
Yeah.
This sounds
So
like every horror
of...
movie I've ever seen. Don't go with the
That's what I said.
I mean, come on.
I'm like, these children are really dumb.
Yeah, really. Although, to be fair,
so
it's 1973, and it was a different time then, you know. We didn't have all the...
Oh, yeah, I think that's why.
I'm like... we have today.
And kids that age are kind of curious, because they're, what, like 7?
Yeah.
They're, like, curious, but they don't quite know that they shouldn't
right, exactly,
be talking to strange creatures under bridges.
Yeah, exactly.
So they go inside his hut. They crawl inside a flap to get in. This hut has 2 floors. The lower level had wallpaper up, which was weird, and it was covered in dials. There was an electric heater inside, and then some furniture. And the upper level seemed to be empty with just a metallic floor. Sam told them that all he ate were berries that he had found.
Okay.
And he claimed that the water from the river could be drunk once he cleaned it. When inside the hut, Sam takes off his hat to reveal white ears and brown hair underneath, which is odd.
Yeah.
And then he placed... So he was like, oh, let me show you this little magic trick I can do. And he placed the berry in his ear. He threw his head forward and caused the berry to disappear and reappear into one of his eyes.
Eee, that's kind of gross.
Isn't that strange? Yeah. Just weird. And then he would just ate it.
Ew, gross. What? After it touched his eye.
I know. Like I said, This guy's really
Yeah,
weird.
he is. That's for sure.
So the kids stayed for about half an hour before saying goodbye, and they rushed home to try and tell someone of the bizarre experiences. They ended up running into a guy, and they told him about it, and then he just laughed at them and told them they were crazy. So the kids were like, okay, maybe we shouldn't talk about this because like adults aren't going to take us seriously. But Faye ended up telling her father about 3 weeks after what happened. Because her father kind of noticed she was acting really odd after, and like was kind of secretive than normal. Her father dismissed it at first when she did tell her, but he was perplexed by the amount of details of the encounter she had. And he could also tell that she was very troubled, like telling him the story, like it was upsetting and it was hard for her to kind of remember. Or like the parts that she did remember were like odd, like she had a weird feeling about it. And then he was semi-convinced it was something he influenced because he had prior UFO sightings.
Oh, really? Interesting.
Yes.
That's a little weird.
Like
that
a year
had...
before that, he had a UFO encounter in that area. So I wonder if it's related.
Right. That's weird.
So Mr. Y, that's his like alias, he went to another boy to get his side of the story. Mm-hmm. The boy was way more hesitant to talk about it than the daughter, but he did finally tell him that he did meet a weird individual that day, and his story lined up with Faye's, like on the the events encountered. He then went to the place to like examine it, and then they didn't find the hut at all or any evidence of it being there. Yeah. What was odd was when the daughter was telling him the story that there were 2 people working on the fence when they saw him by the bridge. So there were 2 people there, but they did not at all witness the weird individual.
That is weird.
So it was a little odd. He ended up reaching out to a UFO journal to get it published and then to have people look into it. But as we know, we haven't heard much else about this guy. Really. But isn't that such a bizarre story, though?
I thought you were gonna...
They never once called him a clown, but like he looked like a clown because he has like the white face and like he had weird markings.
I'm sure he did that so he didn't seem like strange to the kid. You know what I mean? Like weird if he came in his true alien form. Yeah. You know, kind of like any alien movie we've ever seen, where the visitors kind of try to make them look like us, so we don't get put off by them being here on Earth, or the lizard people.
Yeah, that's
that
what I think.
Roam
wonder
around,
if they did.
They look normal, but really deep down they're lizards. So there's that.
Lizard people. Well, someone said it could be like Men in Black related.
Yeah, that could be too. Yep.
Somewhat similar.
Yeah.
I mean, kind of a stretch, but
a lot of strange things going on in the world.
But I thought it was very odd.
Did you see...
Because I had heard of this before.
Sorry, I was going to say, did you see the story that came out, I guess it was like, I want to say a couple days ago, about Bigfoot? Like, somebody has like clear footage of Bigfoot in the forest or whatever, but people are all saying it's like a hoax, that it's somebody dressed up in a costume or whatever. I can't remember what...
Oh, I think I did.
Did you see that
pop up on my feed?
Yeah, it came out a couple days ago.
I don't think I saw the video, but I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, it was so weird. It was like real. I mean, it was like the best photo I've ever seen of a Bigfoot before, but it did look like a little too, you know what I mean? Like a little too realistic, or I don't know.
Yeah.
Somebody thought it was somebody just doing a prank or whatever. I thought that was interesting.
Just a prank, bro. It was definitely odd.
Yep.
I did see that, though.
Yeah. Because it was all over the news, it seemed like, that particular Bigfoot story.
Yeah, had you heard that story, though, about the clown? The sundown clown?
I think so.
Because he was, like, I've heard his name before, but I don't think I'd read the whole story before.
Yeah. Huh. Yeah, he's a strange one. I thought you were going to talk about the weird... do you remember about maybe 4 or 5 years ago, the clowns that were showing up all over here in town? Do you remember that? That was really weird. So like 4 or 5 years ago, where we live out here in our little podunk town in the middle of nowhere called Harrison, there were these clowns that were making appearances like all over town.
They were everywhere.
Yeah, it was weird. They would show up at like
all over, like
schools and that. They actually shut down our high school here one time because the clowns showed up. It was really weird, and they would just like stand and stare at you. It was really bizarre.
But they were happening all over, like other
yeah,
cities.
it wasn't just
it
here,
like
but it was
like
it was all over and stuff.
But it did. We did experience it though in ours.
It was really crazy. And then it was like about the time that had come out, like the new one that they had just released a few years ago.
Yeah, I was gonna say this kind of reminds me of like it, because like isn't it also a international, like he's a being from a different?
Yes, yeah, it ends up
his origins are he's an alien too.
He's a spider alien, but yes, yeah.
But like I thought it was kind of interesting.
Yeah, definitely it does kind of fit the whole
children interacting with a weird clown alien entity.
Yeah, I was gonna say,
and where we're going.
Yeah,
very soon.
I know.
I thought it was kind of interesting to tie it, considering what our special is going to be for the next episode, because we're going on an investigation of sorts.
Yeah, we're actually going
for Halloween,
someplace spooky for Halloween. So
it's related.
Yep.
Sort of.
Yep.
You'll understand though when we talk about it.
Yep.
But we're going to Denver.
Yep. That helps tip you off of where we might be, where we're going. That's spooky.
Yeah, the episode will come out the day that we're going there, so it'll be kind of fun.
And then
it'll come out that day.
The next week when we the following episode, we'll talk about our experiences while we were there and stuff, and so that'll be.
And if we had anything crazy happen, and we're staying in a allegedly haunted hotel.
Yeah. So yeah, like pretty scary that it scared somebody famous. So if it scared somebody famous who's.
It inspired a very popular film.
Yes, it did.
Well, it was a book first.
Yeah,
but yeah,
a book, then a film. Yep. So,
did they actually film it there though?
Yes, that's the actual hotel.
I think parts of it. Okay.
Yeah, no,
that's what I thought it was, because it looks just like it.
Yeah, no, they filmed it there.
I think the hedge maze though is different.
I don't think the hedge maze is there, but I could be wrong. It could be there. I don't know.
No, I checked though, because I thought it would be cool, but I looked and the hedge maze is way smaller than the actual one.
They, how it's Hollywood. They probably brought it. You know what I mean, and made it.
I know they probably wanted to make it bigger for.
Well, and plus it's
effects,
more.
but...
Yeah, I mean, come on, it's. When you watch the movie, it's so much more intense with it being, a larger maze than what's actually there.
Yep. But get excited for our next episode. We're going to talk about the history of the place that we're going and what we might encounter. And then it'll be, when you'll be listening to it, will be the day we're actually there.
We'll be there. So that'll be exciting.
Yes. All right. Well, anything else you have for the podcast?
Oh, yeah. Oh, that makes me remind me. Okay. So, I have the craft fair this weekend, but on Saturday, Metamora, Indiana, they're having a haunted train ride that me and Dad are going on. And they're going to be having ghost stories in their little town there. You can walk around and they'll tell you different stories about the different places that are haunted. Cool. Yeah. So hopefully I'll have some stuff to talk about on our next episode about that too. Yeah. But yeah, that's all I have.
All right. Well, if you enjoyed our podcast today, follow us on Instagram at Two Scaredy Cats Podcast. And please be sure to leave a review on Apple Podcasts and Spotify. It really helps the show get discovered. And tune in 2 weeks for a new episode. And to all our scaredy cats and kittens out there, remember, curiosity didn't kill these two scaredy cats.